There we go. It's 9 o'clock. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
See that everyone survived yesterday's Supreme Court stopping by. All righty. We'll call this meeting to order of the Waupaca County Law Enforcement Committee. The opening statement is this meeting and all other meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin statutes, so that the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, agenda of this meeting. Roll call. We have signatures for everyone here other than Ricky. Earl. I ask at this point that we have a motion to approve the agenda as handed out.
So moved, just.
Captain seconds. Motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Next, we have the minutes of our previous meeting, September 9th. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none.
That's Brendan.
30 seconds.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Any public comment? I do not see anyone here to make any comment at this point. Next, we have approval and signature of the bills. Do you have anything particular you want to point out or any of the members here?
Most get pretty standard on page 6 of 16. Maybe administration help me with the ready transports. Was that transport? Was that out of state?
Yes,
It was
we
out of
had
state, I know that.
Yeah, we had a warrant issued for a gentleman that was arrested in New York State. So the ready transport bill there is the return of that individual to Wisconsin. And just so everybody else is aware, we will be seeing reimbursement from some of that as Taylor County, Wisconsin was going to be splitting that bill 50-50 with us. We also had warrants for Taylor County.
They did that already.
And then we are also seeking restitution from the individual that's transported. That's more than likely going to take more than a year or 10 to obtain. So
Do we have a method of determining whether it's worth extraditing someone? Is that?
it's situation by situation. I mean, if we can, if it makes sense to send a couple transport guys, we'll send a couple transport guys. This with the one in New York was actually on the very far eastern side of New York. And it would have been, I think, 16 hours one way of travel. And you're talking hotels and they're spending an overnight trip with the person again, which doesn't make sense. So they actually flew him from New York. So he went on an airplane to, I think they drove from Chicago, if I remember correctly. So
But I mean, the concept of even whether it's worth extraditing someone.
that's not up to, so that's up to the district attorney. So when they, yeah.
But historically, we've worked with the district attorney, we've done either where they've quashed a warrant, said it's not worth it, or they've even done court by Zoom and come to a resolution
Right.
while the person's on the other side of the country.
Yeah,
This
And
individual,
not brought them back.
right.
not this guy. The individual in question was actually a scam artist that they actually caught as using the grandson in jail scam.
Oh, really?
And he got $20,000 out of an individual out of Iowa. And then the incident in Taylor County, he scammed 2 individuals out of Taylor County, which is over $50,000.
Okay, that's wow.
So he needed to come back and visit us.
Once in a while, we do catch these guys.
Yep.
And on the next page, page 7 of 16, you see Clintonville veterinary. I think that's for Dom, right? Yeah.
He had an issue on his face. Yeah, like it had swelling, didn't know what it
Yeah,
was.
I know. It was-
So there was some added medical expense there, pills and stuff. Yep, they did a cancer screen twice, and it wasn't that. They're gonna go in, do some exploratory to see why is it swelling. I don't know, a day or two before they're gonna do it, it kind of went down and stayed away, so we canceled that. So, don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
And every month I look at the WEX bill, which is our gas, 9/16, page 9/16. It's a little bit lower. Gas shot up since then, so we'll see where it comes in next month, but 22,000 for squads. And the mileage we put on justifies. Do we have any other ones?
A question.
Yes.
Yes.
On page 7, I see there's a Sam's Club in Atlanta for $1,421 or something.
Those are the chips for the K9.
For the broad fry.
Oh, okay.
This is an online order, that's why it says.
Sure.
Carol, when it comes to car repair, have we done the work necessary from that hailstorm, or is that an ongoing?
In process.
In process,
It's
yeah.
in process.
Trying to get all the cars there, and we're using shop, what, 5 or 6 different shops throughout the county and half,
That's
maybe?
it, probably just under half.
Yep.
I completed. Now's a good time with one in the fall. We're not gonna need as many of the spare squads. That's my next goal is to get those knocked out.
How many cars did we have at all?
They're damaged.
We're in the 31.
Yep,
32.
32.
Yep.
We're with the hail damage from spring.
And a county highway shop, that was a bad area. That area was bad for hail. And,
Yep, and
you
that's
know,
where
we had a lot of our spares sitting there, so.
got mine.
Total high.
Well,
Yeah.
we had.
Anything else, Carl?
No, I don't know.
Do the supervisors have any thoughts, questions, comments?
Make a motion to approve the bills as printed.
Motion made. Is there a second to that?
Second, Johnson.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Communication Center report, please.
In September, we had a total of 71,405 radio transmissions, 1,154 911 calls, 8,793 non-emergency calls, a total of 2,988 calls for service, 137 911 hangups, and 48 missed dials. You can tell the numbers are going down for the 911 missed dials and hangups. People aren't out about as much in the summer. They're sitting in cup holders in the boats and in the cars. They accidentally tell 911 and hit buttons too many times. Staff wise, we have one that's in her final month of training, and we have a new staff member starting next Monday. That's all I have.
Any questions or anything from supervisors?
Just comment yesterday, did you guys hear the Supreme Court argument on the second case? The county liability for the inmate who was assaulted by a correction officer? Interesting case, but it's not the first county that's in trouble. This was Dunn County. They said Polk County had worse trouble. But I'm assured we're taking care, we're on top of all of that, right, as far as our training and preventive measures and all of that to avoid that kind of controversy here. I'll just tell you, I'm confident of that. I'm not gonna, I'm just saying, you guys are aware of the trouble that can occur. I'm sure if you aren't careful about your conduct of your employees.
Just like any other job, we're completely aware of
Yeah.
our surroundings and what we're doing.
I'm sure you are.
And
I
most of-
was just trying to say thank you. We don't worry about that the way it goes.
Some are counties, Mike. Mr. Kevin, you had something?
I have the pleasure of sitting on the County Mutual Claims Board. We meet practically every month. And I'll have to tell you, this has been going on for so long with the inmates and we're so lucky here so far. Let's keep it that way. Some counties have been nailed big time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And this is not unusual, especially some counties in the southern part of the state. It's really, and then you read all the descriptions, it's almost reading like a pay and place book.
Oh, yeah.
You
Unbelievable.
know?
Yes, the detective division, we've done internal investigations for other counties, and usually it's related to correct the jail
Yeah.
inmates or otherwise, but our policies safeguard a lot of things as far as, the procedures and everything else in regards to that.
Well, this was interesting that there was one bed that was never on camera. And the inmates knew it and the guards knew it and everybody knew that bed never got watched. And of course, that's where the assault occurred.
It makes you wonder down the road, you may see more of that where you try and hire the best people that you possibly can, and but this pool starts getting a little bit
Oh, yeah.
less qualified, and maybe they bring into that other places where that temptation may be there for some of those people.
Oh, yeah.
Knock on wood. Doing good.
All righty. Thank you very much. Yep. For that information and the comments. Appreciate that. We'll place that on file. Corrections Division, just to go over.
They're fabulous officers that.
Every bed's on camera.
Monitored. Again, definitely out of the ordinary, 199 bookings for the month. Our average daily pop is 207. That's kind of our standard. For employee updates, we did interviews a couple weeks ago. I had 3, was it?
Yeah.
3, and we selected one female out of that to do a background on. Gave her a contingent job offer on psychological and physical, so hopefully she hands out, and we're still looking for another position. Our head nurse, she has left, and the interviews for a new head nurse. She's from Winnebago counties, so I think she'll be starting in November.
Yep.
So we're excited to have her on board. Wood County still is going forward with their jail. I think they had a proposal like 94 million or something, like that, 92 million, or is it 50 or 60? So it's still 2-3 years out before we lose those inmates. And other than that, the bed bugs are gone. That's all I got.
For now.
For now. Any comments, questions or anything? Supervisors? None? If not, we thank you and we'll place that report on file as well. Detective Division.
So the child abuse and sex offense complaints increased in September. There were 8 in August and then 10 in September. There was one child abuse neglect case, and that involved exposing the children to environmental elements and hazards like dog feces and trash throughout the home. So we responded and helped clean that up. Hopefully we'll be revisiting the home and things will be taken care of on that end. And then there were the 9 sexual assaults, and a lot of those consisted of teenagers with sexual relations, inappropriate touching that was consensual, but yet teenagers can't give consent. So those are some of those calls. Fortunately, there were no elder abuse cases that were reported to us in September. And then there were 2 burglaries and 12 thefts that were reported in September compared to 0 burglaries and 13 thefts in August. One interesting case that came in, interesting is a good word, but we received a call of a possible homicide. A male subject walked into a neighboring county sheriff's office, and he was reporting that he had killed somebody several years ago, back in 2006. And so we did some extensive investigation on it. And unfortunately, he had some mental health issues, and he truly believed that he actually killed this individual, but it did not happen. So a lot of time and effort, and unfortunately talking with the families and stuff in that case, but got it all straightened out, and it did not happen. They executed or served 9 search warrants. Of those, 3 of them were Snapchat warrants. 2 were involved with a sex offense, and 1 was for a missing persons case. There were 5 cell phone search warrants. 2 were for sex offenses, 2 were for drug overdoses, and then 1 was for that possible homicide case where the male subject walked in reporting he had killed somebody. Then there was the last one, which was a DNA search warrant involving a sex offense. For the narcotics division, they conducted a search warrant on a marijuana grow, and approximately 19 marijuana plants were located, as well as methamphetamine, marijuana, and numerous paraphernalia items. And then they also had a GPS case, and the male subject was taken into custody on a traffic stop with that case. And he had approximately 4 grams of methamphetamine as well as paraphernalia, and they were assisted by the Clintonville Police Department. For employee updates, Clint Schrader is now full-time in the detective division as of September 28th. And Curtis Much is full-time in the narcotics division as of September 28th as well. And then as of today, Deputy Alec Brockman fills the other narcotics position. So now we are full down there, and Todd's working on his. That's all I have.
Very good. Any question, comments at all? Supervisors? I have a question, Julie. For the individual who obviously had mental health issues, is there any kind of referral or anything that goes into Health and Human Services or anything at all? When you run into a situation like that, not specific.
We certainly had calls to them, and family members of him were working on like a 3-party petition, that type of thing as well. So avenues were sought. I'm just not sure where that ended up with this particular case, but yes, we do make those
We
calls.
normally do that. Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
you bet.
Any comments or anything? Otherwise, we'll thank you and place it on file. Patrol Division.
Month of September 2022, reportable crashes 36 compared to 33 a year ago. There were no fatalities this year or last in September. Number of vehicles involved in those 36 crashes, 48 compared to 43. 10 people hurt, 12 a year ago. Crashes involving drinking, we had 5 this year and compared to 7 last September. Year-to-date numbers, reportable crashes 290 compared to 315. 3 fatalities compared to 5, and 3 and 4 crashes respectively. Traffic arrests for the month of September, 334. Year-to-date numbers, 3,327. 1 year ago, 233. 3,216 year-to-date last year. OWIs are drunk driving arrests 16 for September, year-to-date 129 compared to 17 and 121. Canine involvements 9 for a yearly total 140. 11 last year, September 134 year-to-date numbers. We did have 1 SWAT call out in September, and that was to enforce one of the drug warrants that Julie had mentioned previous. That was in the northern part of the county. Knock and announce warrant, and really nothing much else to say about that. No one was hurt. Us or the target of the warrant went off as well as can be expected or hoped for. Patrol car mileage for the month, 87,093. Year-to-date numbers, 842,252 miles driven. Notes, in September, our 3 officers that we were training got off of training successfully and are working on their own. A job offer was given to Stephanie Pedersen to fill the Brockman role that went to the drug. She accepted it and she started yesterday.
She'll be on the road then?
She will be on the road, correct. She is from veteran from Winnebago County. I think she was there 18, 19 years.
Yep.
Right. So she started yesterday.
Lucky to have her, I think.
I think so. Absolutely. She brings a lot of qualifications, a lot of training where she could be the trainer for us, so. It's very,
What would bring her here compared to there?
you probably have to ask her to get every detail, but she lives in Waupaca County.
Okay.
So just, and she would have to drive to Oshkosh to get a squad car here and there, not.
Yeah.
So this just fit her lifestyle a little bit better. And she lives south of Waupaca on Dayton Road, I think, but.
I can add to that. It was the exact same question I asked her.
Mhm.
Excuse me. No, I don't have COVID.
I've had enough.
I asked her, why Waupaca County? And she said, well, she says, my husband's a dumb state trooper and he works Waupaca County. We live in Waupaca County. But she said, my husband tells me that any department he visits with, county departments, Waupaca County's personnel seem happy. They seem like to work. And this doesn't happen in a lot of other counties. And so she said that also told me that it must be a good work atmosphere. Thanks to you, yeah.
Good.
We're happy to have her. That's
Yeah.
understand.
In the county highway department, we had one that came from Winnebago County also, and that the reason mostly was because they moved into the county, so it's makes it much simpler to work. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Any other comments or questions for them? Alrighty. Thank you very much, and we'll place that on file, and we go to records division.
Nothing too exciting in records. The Shop with the Cop donations are starting to ramp up for the season. Year to date for them is $2,232. Dive team also is getting quite a few donations. Their total for the year is $22,911. And K9 is still getting some $38,166.70. That is all I have.
Any questions, any comments from supervisors? All right, thank you, and we'll place that on file. Chief Deputy report, Carl.
Morning, everyone. I'm gonna mix and match with the sheriff's report. He apologizes he can't be here today. And I just want to start out with thanking the whole department as far as even what the Chief Justice said about the sheriff's office. There was a lot of work that went into it. When we first met with Marshal Tammy Johnson, it was an interesting experience. You thought the president was coming, and they are, the justices are high profile individuals, and there was a lot of logistics that went into this, and I want to thank Todd, the patrol captain, and Kyle, and actually the whole department. Once I seen the operational plan, it's practically our whole department that was included in this. And even the logistics with the food and everything else. And it was quite a sight to see, even 30 years plus in law enforcement. You never thought you were going to get that close and rubbing shoulders at a table with a chief justice and such. And to see the lawyers and the students and everybody engage in that. And even when we started out in the morning in the parking lot, you found out that they're same people that we are. We wake up in the morning and then we go to work, and that's what we do. So it was something I thought I'd never see, but it was quite interesting and I'm glad everybody enjoyed it, you know. And I just, really at this table, I just want to say thanks to this department because it took a lot for this to all come off and everything, so. That's all I have as far as the chief deputy thing, part of it. And then the rest, I guess we can, if you're ready, we can go into the sheriff's.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. The sheriff included in this, just to post the reimbursement of the ATV patrol reimbursement, $4,155.56. There should be letter attached to that. Wanted to make that remark because it does go in the budget and sometimes it extends into the month of September and then we find out what we get reimbursed. So that's why he wanted it noted in there. And then the next one is snowmobile enforcement patrol reimbursement for $4,125.09. And they also put in there the percentage of that, and that's included in that letter in September also. Any questions on that?
Do we own a snowmobile and ATV as a department?
Yes, UTV, yes, and then the snowmobiles are leased from, it's a federal program basically that gets the snowmobiles every year, so.
The snowmobiles don't get much use.
No,
Depends on the year.
It depends on the year. I remember that one year we went from December all the way into beyond February, it seemed like. And then other years it sits in the garage or in the trailer. It all
I think
depends on
like
the
the
year.
chief said, the big number on those two sheets are the percentage we get back. Obviously, we spend 100% of whatever we spend and we get back.
Yeah.
60 to 73, 75% from the, so it, I don't want to say it pays for itself, but it's 2/3.
yeah.
Okay,
Anything else, Carl?
nothing else on that part.
Please, yours and the sheriff's.
And well, I got the checks.
Okay, we'll keep moving down to
Yeah.
the important thing.
The checks, and there is quite a few of them. The first one from Wood Sewer and Excavating is for $500 to our dive team. Next one, 3D Auto Repair for $200 to Shop with a Cop. Remax Lions Real Estate, $500 for Shop with a Cop. And we have Countryside Propane for $200 for Shop with a Cop. John Kaplinski and Margie Kaplinski, $50 for Shop with a Cop. And James Rill and Karen Rill, $25 for Shop with a Cop. Hanson's Furniture, Appliance, Mattresses, $300 for Shop with a Cop. Ryan Michael and Julia Michael, $300 for Shop with a Cop. And Dr. Shearer and Marilyn Shearer, $50 for Shop with a Cop. Les and Vicky Tho, $100 for Shop with a Cop. And $7,500 drone grant.
The Waupaca Community Foundation grant.
Yes. For a drone. And then we have which I remarked before, these are the checks from the state. ATV patrol payment, $4,155.56. Snowmobile patrol payment, $4,125.09. And I take it this would be the traffic safety grant, $3,304.82.
Correct, that's the current OWI grant, that should be the final payment for the 2022
Yes.
grant.
Order. Then I have a check, Rebecca Schultz and Michael Schultz. Proceeds going to the K-9 for $1,955. Donation here, K-9. And then with a letter, Labor Day fundraiser they had.
They have a party every year and it seems like they always donate to us, so it's pretty cool.
Yes. And then there was another Scandinavian Booster Club also had a gathering. And there must have been one of the weekends where they had inclement weather, but they gave $100 to the K-9 unit also. Susan, Brian Barlow and Susan Barlow. Would be all the donations. Yes.
A dance hall?
No dance hall.
Dance hall, okay. And we'll move right on to the resolution number 27, K-9 donation. As required by county policy, any donation over $1,000 has to be approved. Resolution number 27. Now therefore be resolved that the Waupaca County Board of Supervisors accepts $1,955 from the
Helgeson.
Okay,
Helgeson.
Helgeson
Road.
Okay, I'm Irish. That doesn't fit. Road neighbors, care of Rebecca and Michael Schultz. Also a donation of $1,414 from 3H Brew LLC, which is which place?
Hinder?
Hinders.
Yes.
It's Hinders.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll let you say it.
It's Hinders. Yeah. For the purpose of supporting Waupaca County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit. Alrighty, we need a motion and a second. to accept
So
that.
moved, John.
Okay, is there a second to that?
Captain seconds.
Any further discussion? Comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Does it have a signature part on the back of that? Oh,
Yes, it
yes.
does. Yeah, perfect. So I'll pass it down. We'll go to finance tomorrow, I suspect. For resolution 27. Next, we have chapter 13 repeal. We do have an explanation within our packet regarding this. Does anyone, Sheriff or Kim or someone want to kind of illuminate us a little bit as to what you're asking for?
Sure. So a little while back, we were going through our records policies and have, part of that is a peddler's permit, which is part of chapter 13. We don't really issue those very often, if they even come in here at all to do it. So it's really not, we feel it's not necessary to have a policy for that, as well as I believe that dance hall permits are in that. Large gathering permits, also like a statute for when the bars can open and close, which the Wisconsin state statutes already mandate that. So we're looking to repeal all of it as it's really not being utilized, and we don't really have the enforcement to enforce any permits or violations of permits. Reference reserve deputies. I think we don't get enough reserve deputies to even be able to have them go out there for these large things. We will investigate as necessary if there's a peddler that comes around and is aggressive or harassing them. Obviously, we'll get a call and we'll go out there. Same with large events. If there's something, we'll treat the problem as it comes, if it comes to it. So we're just looking to get rid of that entire chapter out of our policies.
Okay, we need a motion.
Yes, we do, sir.
So move.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded
Yes.
regarding the repeal of the Waupaca County Code of Ordinances, Chapter 13, licenses and permits. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll come to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. I will pass around the signature you need for that as well.
I believe that then goes to Algis committee as well. So that'll be forwarded to them.
To them. Very good. Thank you, Ken. Good
I
explanation.
will miss that when you say any dance. Permits on the agenda.
Medical examiner's report.
All right, so in September, we had 42 total deaths, 38 were natural, but 23 hospice, 6 house deaths, 4 ER, 24-hour deaths, 2 nursing home, 1 Severa, and 2 cremation permits. We have 3 accidental deaths. 1 was a 50-year-old female who died of internal head injury from a fall, a 95-year-old female who had internal injuries from a fall, and a 93-year-old male who had head injuries from a fall. We had 1 informational COVID-19 death and 15 burials, 26 cremation permits. Out of the 26, 1 was a state assistance. The 1 info for a total of 42 deaths. Short, sweet.
To the point. Any questions, comments?
Point of information, I'm asked this because my mother-in-law fell at a nursing home and didn't die immediately, but you know how it goes, when you break your hip at night, whatever, 6 months you're dead. And we said, why didn't you put up a restraint on the bed? And they said, we can't do that. I'm just wondering, of the falls that resulted in death, were they at their own home, or were they at assisted living or a nursing?
The 50-year-old was at home, the 95-year-old was at home. And I want to say the 93-year-old was at home.
Oh, really? The older nurses said we never used to have these in the nursing home because we put up bed rails.
Bed rails.
And
Yeah,
we're no longer allowed to do that because that's an illegal restraint.
Restraint.
yep.
And I wonder, when I retire, my mission is gonna be to get rid of that. Whoever thought that that was a good idea.
What, to get rid of the bed rails?
No, to get the red rose back.
Back.
Well, actually, it caused more deaths back then. Because the people would get intertwined in them and like suffocate themselves and stuff. So that's, and it is illegal because if they want to get out of bed to go to the bathroom, they're not able to. But now they have this thing that goes down on their bed and it produces a high pitched alarm. So if they need assistance to get out of bed to go to the bathroom, the alarm will sound
Okay.
instead. But yeah, there was a lot of deaths because of the bed rails actually being out.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
I guess so, but I said, why not bed rose? I said, well, why don't you put a mattress by the bed so she can fall on the mattress?
Yeah.
I know they do that too.
I know, but then you're sure they're gonna fall. You ever tried walking on a
Right.
mattress?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Tom, they have, and I had worked at King for 3 years full-time. And they have multiple things, including, as you mentioned, the mattress on either side of the bed. But they
Yeah.
also have motion detectors, they have little clip-on things and everything. I mean, they have all kinds of other restraints. And it seemed counterintuitive that the bed rails would be more dangerous than not.
Yeah,
But it seems to be true that the bed rails
Mhm.
hurt more people than not having them, sort of thing.
Learned something today.
Yeah, any other comments or questions regarding that? If not, we'll place that on file, and I thank you, as always. Anything from the supervisors would like to comment? Hearing none at all, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Johnson.
Motion been made by Johnson to adjourn,
Kevin seconds.
and Kevin seconds it. We are adjourned. Thank you very much for your time.
Just set a record.
I'm trying to get down to a half hour, man.
You let tell the sheriff without him.
Yeah.
Jaw jacking.